Discover Islamic finance, a $4 trillion untapped opportunity. Beneath its mystery, people enforce fair finance using paper documents and physical signatures. Zero digitizes assets and automates compliance, connecting this market to global capital.
All right. Now we begin your 7-minute pitch right now.
When you hear Islamic finance, what comes to mind? Most people know that interest is not allowed. But that raises other questions. For example, how do you make money? How is it different from conventional finance? And most importantly, why should we all care? Islamic finance is rooted in ethical, transparent, and asset-backed finance. The market is $4.5 trillion. That is bigger than Japan's annual GDP. It is expected to double in the next 5 years. Many companies are getting involved in the space, including European institutions. Why European institutions are interested in Islamic finance? Because it tightly aligns with ESG global standards. And also, Japanese banks are getting involved. As a matter of fact, since 2008, the Japanese government has been deregulating Japanese law to allow Japanese banks to provide Islamic finance through their subsidiaries. And herein lies a very strategic opportunity for Japan. Japan imports 95% of its energy from the Middle East. That means oil comes into Japan and money flows out, and that's it. By focusing on Islamic finance, Japan can more closely integrate the financial system with the Middle East, providing an advantage over Singapore and Hong Kong. Introducing ZeroH. We provide Islamic finance as a service. If you provide trade finance, you can integrate with us, and you can provide Islamic trade finance. If you provide cash finance, you integrate with us, and you can provide Islamic cash finance. If you are a buy now, pay later company, or provide asset-backed finance, again, integrate with us, and you can provide Islamic buy now, pay later, or asset-backed finance. Now, what is our secret sauce? We combine 4 cutting-edge technologies. We use European standard decentralized identity to provide humans, animals, and assets identity, then we put it on chain. We use blockchain to provide smart contracts and tokenization. We use digital wallet infrastructure to make sure that these assets can be manipulated. And finally, we use AI to make sure that people can scale and launch their product effectively. Our team is ready to execute this grand vision. I myself am born and raised in Japan. 実はこう見えても日本生まれ、日本育ちなんですね。I've written 3 books in Japanese. I've built businesses and sold them. I have 20 years experience in traditional finance, Deutsche Bank and Citigroup. And I've built and provided blockchain solutions for the largest companies in the world, like LG. My co-founders and dear friends have decades of experience building enterprise-grade solutions and going to market. Now, why is entering Islamic finance so difficult? First, you need a dedicated religious board. Number 2, you need specialized legal frameworks. Number 3, you need to make sure that you can track assets, asset ownership, and make sure that when an asset is delivered, then payment is received in time. You also need to make sure that each country's religion and legal framework is abided by, considering Islamic finance has many different interpretations around the world. GCC and Southeast Asia can be quite different. Once you enter, it's still quite difficult because different than conventional finance, when I send you $1 in your bank account, story's over. But if assets are involved, then you have to make sure that that asset is tracked through the chain. I have to deliver you the asset. I have to make sure that you own the asset before you sell it onwards. And a lot of that paperwork is needed. Let me introduce 2 use cases that we're involved in. The first one is very close to my heart. This is designed for maximum impact. We are tokenizing cows and wrapping them in bonds and selling them. Now you might wonder, cows? 牛ですか、お兄さん? Cows, because livestock represent a $16 billion market just in ASEAN. And most of livestock is actually unregistered asset. What does this mean? It means farmers cannot get access to capital. They cannot use these livestock as collateral. So what do? We take cows in Bangladesh. We give them identity through their nose prints. We give them an identity, put it on chain. Local insurance companies provide them insurance. Then we transfer ownership of these assets to a special purpose vehicle. The special purpose vehicle issues a Sukuk certificate. Global investors buy these assets. We are tying local farmers directly to global capital markets. The next use case, we're focused on revenue. Now, 90% of Islamic finance is based on this, kappu atobarai keyak. Basically, in Islamic finance, you cannot provide a loan. So what companies do is they buy assets. This is a digital diamond worth about $40,000. You will buy it, I will sell it to you, you will sell it in the market and get the cash needed. Traditionally, this can take hours. For some companies, it can take days to make sure that each transaction is compliant. Our system does this in a matter of minutes. All documentation is shared, and we take a transaction fee from every transaction. Now, how does Zero work? We work with religious scholars, we work with law firms, we take the templates, and we digitize them. Then we create smart contracts from the paper contracts to make sure the smart contracts enforce the paper contracts. We allow companies to embed this into their workflows. Then we allow on-chain compliance. And finally, we have an AI-powered compliance helper that helps you scale. We are scaling globally. We're in Qatar. We're deploying the country's first national digital asset registry. We're expanding to Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, and Bahrain. And of course, Japan, close to my heart. We're ready to deploy in Japan as well. Join us in unlocking this $4.5 trillion untapped opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That was Mr. Sami Milan, CEO of Blade Labs from Qatar, with digital infrastructure for Islamic finance.